We're with Caroline Taylor. Caroline is a personal injury attorney in Nashville, and she's agreed to answer some online questions that were posted related to traumatic brain injuries. So with that said, Caroline, let's go into the first question that was posted. This question was from Will. Will said, my wife was in a car accident and she was knocked unconscious from the crash. This was several weeks ago, and ever since she hasn't seemed herself. What are the symptoms of traumatic brain injury?
Great question. So initially things like nausea, vomiting, blurry vision could be, it just not acting yourself is actually a very great symptom of that. I mean, irritability, acting out, having anger, just essentially, and you as a husband are somebody that is great to actually be able to see that from afar and kind of point it out. So if you feel like she's generally not herself and that, you know, she's having differences of personality and things like that since the accident, then it's certainly something that's worth going and seeing a doctor and trying to really get to the bottom of that.
Okay. Next question was from Lisa. Lisa says, I was struck by a car when crossing the street several months ago. The doctor said I sustained a severe concussion and I'm still experiencing symptoms like migraines and memory loss. Is that normal? And how long can someone suffer from the symptoms of a traumatic brain injury?
Sure. So things like a concussion that can last, you know, days up to a few months. I mean, obviously your doctor's going to be a much better person to talk about that, but I think 7 to 10 days for, you know, just your general symptoms is pretty good gauge, but they could last, you know, 2 to 3 months. If it continues after that, certainly see your doctor in the in-between if you think that, you know, that how you're feeling warrants that. But additionally, just as far as traumatic brain injuries and how long they can last, I mean, depending on the severity, a brain injury can be permanent. And so you want to make sure that, you know, you get the proper care, that you see your doctors. If it's just a concussion, then obviously that should subside and you should significantly get over that. But, you know, if you do have issues that continue, then certainly see your doctor, because that is a very, very serious thing that you need to consider.
Okay. Next question was from Henry. Henry said, my son was injured in a motorcycle accident. He is now having severe brain damage. He now has severe brain damage, and doctors think he will never fully recover. I'm worried about paying for his medical bills. What kind of payment is typical for these types of cases?
Sure. And I absolutely hate to hear that about your son. So unfortunately, I can't give you an exact payment amount just because, you know, obviously every case is different and everybody's treated differently. Depending on the circumstances, you know, if this was somebody else's fault and there are some other factors that go into that, but essentially there are different types of damage that courts can award you. Things like medical bills. So, if, you know, like you said, you're concerned about his medical bill. So it is possible that you could get an award for past or future medical bills for his care, which is very likely to be needed if he's going to have some significant care for this brain injury. You can get anything really that's related to his working life. You know, if he is not going to be able to work or do things that he could have done before this, have the job, held the job, you know, perform the hours of work that he was really expected to before this accident, as opposed to after. You can get payment for things like that. You can get payment for his pain and suffering, for, you know, obviously everything that he's gone through, but his future treatment, as I'm sure is what you're most concerned about, as I would be as a parent as well, is just, you know, obviously watch out for and make sure that he's taken care of just from a medical standpoint going forward.
Okay. And the last question we have is from Juanita. She asks, is it possible to get traumatic brain injury without receiving a direct hit to the head?
I think the short answer is yes, it is. I mean, traumatic brain injuries can be caused by, you know, very catastrophic events and events that cause your brain essentially to shift and to hit the sides of your skull. And that's, you know, that's going to be a main cause of it. So yes, even though, you know, you don't have something that just directly impacts you in the head, I do think that it is possible to still get some sort of brain injury as long as there's, you know, a catastrophic event that happens.
Okay, excellent. If you have any other questions, all you need to do is post them to the comments section below, and Caroline's agreed to answer the questions online for you. So thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.